you can be a responsible, historical, critical scholar and also have a personal Christian faith. I don't really like to talk about myself, but since this is my first video on this account, let me introduce myself. I'm Michael Patrick Barber. I'm professor of Biblical Studies and Theology here at the Augustine Institute Graduate School in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm the author of a number of scholarly publications. For example, I've written this book, The Historical Jesus and the Temple, Memory, Methodology, and the Gospel of Matthew. It's published by Cambridge University Press. And by the way, it's newly out this month in paperback, which I'm really happy about because now it's affordable. I'm honored to say that Dale Allison, my favorite historical Jesus scholar, writes the foreword to the book. And it also has endorsements from scholars like Amy Jill Levine, Chris Keith, Donald Sr., Rafael Rodriguez. I've been sort of sitting on the sidelines watching videos on social media. People have encouraged me to join this online conversation, and I've been struck by the number of people on platforms like this one who are asking intelligent questions about the Bible and religion, having thoughtful discussions about how history and research scholarship advances our understanding of these things. I'm amazed in particular at the number of people talking about their interest in the Catholic faith. Some are former Catholics who are returning to the church. Some are coming in from the outside. They're looking in from the outside. Some of them identify as Catholic curious or Catholic coded. If you're the kind of person who wants to take an approach to the Bible and religion that combines scholarly rigor, intellectual honesty, research, and faith, I want to support that. I think we should reject religious fundamentalism and fideism, the notion that if you have faith, you have to reject reason and science and critical scholarship. I also reject historicism, which thinks that matters of faith are all either somehow proven or disproven by critical historical research. Now, there are a lot of great biblical scholars on social media, and you can learn much from them. I do. Some of them don't talk about their personal beliefs about God or their own convictions about religious matters. I support that choice. Nobody should feel forced to discuss matters publicly that someone thinks is too private or something that makes them feel uncomfortable. For me, it's a different story. Generally, I prefer to be transparent about my beliefs. After all, no scholar reaches their conclusions by purely objective analysis alone. So I prefer to be transparent about my convictions. I'm not saying you should let your biases dictate your conclusions. I want to be honest with the data. I think most scholars try to do that, including ones who prefer not to speak about their personal beliefs and people who have personal beliefs that they talk about. I'm not implying anyone's trying to hide something, but some people say that you can't be a person of faith and be a serious scholar because then you can't go where the evidence leads you. And I disagree. There are lots of great scholars like Bruce Metzger, Joseph Fitzmyer, John P. Meyer, who show that historical research is possible, but that doesn't mean it somehow cancels out faith in supernatural mysteries, or even the Catholic faith in particular, the Christian faith in particular. There are limits to what history and research can demonstrate, and faith isn't dependent on some sort of positivistic approach to these things. I'm also not interested in imposing my beliefs on other people, though, of course, like anyone else, I think I have good reasons for what I believe, and I'd like to persuade others that my perspective offers something compelling. I should also add, just in case you're wondering if we can be friends in real life, I don't think non-believers are necessarily damned. I have lots of friends who are non-believers. I love people. Whoever you are, my faith, not my scholarly commitments, tells me that I am to love everyone and not judge anyone. So I'm here to be a bridge builder. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I'm always evolving and learning more. I think that's the mark of a good scholar. I happily admit to being unable to explain certain things. I don't think it's a cop-out to acknowledge that life sometimes is mysterious. I also don't feel the need to have an opinion on every given matter, everything under the sun. I'm not that important. I don't think the world needs my hot take on everything. But it seems like it's unusual for serious scholars, the ones I see at conferences and do publications, to go on social media and talk about both their scholarship and their personal beliefs. And so people who know me have encouraged me to do this because they know that while I love being part of those scholarly conversations, I'm also a committed Catholic. I'm very grateful to my Catholic parents for giving me this Catholic faith. I've inherited this beautiful Catholic faith from them, and it brings me a lot of peace and joy. I know a lot of people were brought up Catholic. They didn't have that experience. I'm very sorry if that's you. I don't claim that Catholics or Christians are perfect, or people of any faith for that matter. I'm wounded to know about the scandals that have taken place in history. More recently, I realize there are many scandals I'm not even aware of. But I'm more overwhelmed by the inexplicable goodness I see in those who live their faith, often quietly in unknown ways. If you're considering becoming Catholic, I want to encourage you. For me, the Catholic faith is like a cathedral. From the outside, the stained glass windows look ominous, dark. But once you go inside, they're glorious, and they even fill you with wonder. Above all, I want to emphasize that you can be both faithful and committed to scholarly rigor and intellectual honesty, even when it isn't clear how all those things can necessarily be reconciled. Okay, let me say a little bit more about myself because a friend said I should be personal here. I'm married to Kimberly Barber, the most amazing, thoughtful, selfless, beautiful woman I've ever known. We have 6 amazing children, ages 8 to 17, Michael Jr., Matthew, Molly, Thomas, Susanna, and Simon. Our lives revolve around them. We live here in Missouri, but I consider myself to be a Californian in exile, but I'm very grateful, I should add, to be here at the Augustine Institute. It's a truly remarkable place. I absolutely love baseball. I bleed Dodger blue. That may come out every now and then. On any given evening of the week or on weekends, you're likely to find me at one of my son's baseball games or watching my daughters do gymnastics. I have the palate of a 9-year-old boy. My idea of fine dining is in and out. I drink obscene amounts of Diet Coke. I love the Beatles, classic rock. I'm a huge film buff. I especially love older movies. But okay, that's enough about me. This channel is not really about me. It's going to be for you if you're looking for content on biblical scholarship, Christian origins, ancient Judaism, Christian faith, Catholic theology. If you're looking for an approach to these things that seeks to simultaneously be thoughtful and faithful. If any of these things interest you, stay tuned. If you're curious what a commitment to both historical criticism and faith looks like, either because that's your own outlook or because you just wonder how those two things can be held together, stay tuned. Maybe you're a student and you're considering whether you want to go into this kind of thing. You want to come into this field. If you're a Catholic college student or a high school student, if you're thinking about a career in academia as a biblical scholar, as a theologian, as a professor of religious studies, let me know. I'm here to learn from you. I want to hear what you are interested in. I want to learn from other perspectives as well. I just want to make friends. So lots more to come. If you want to hear about some specific topic, let me know in the comments. It'll give me ideas about the kinds of things I should make videos about. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you soon.